Sound check for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. The Lady Eagles taking on El Paso Parkland, first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 63rd annual. We are just seconds away from the pregame show. Ty Friend and Ron Gunter.
5th annual for the girls, and it should be great. This is Ron Gunter, and we're going to enjoy some great basketball from the Lady Eagles. In just a moment, we're going to get into the pregame, but right now we're just doing a sound check.
Testing.
Check, and that's it.
Testing 1, 2, 3. HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball next. Stay with us. Welcome, everyone, to Tasco Arena. Time for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on HobbsAmerica.com on the YouTube Hobbs Sports page at the 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Ron, it's the 5th one for the Lady Eagles. Last year lost in the championship to Farmington, but the previous 4 years were the champs.
Exactly. Well, it's 3 years. They missed 1 year. But, you know, it is a good thing for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. I wish they'd done this sooner, but instead it's just the 5th, so we're working with it. But, you know, it was a heartbreaker last year. Of course, this is kind of like a revenge thing because they're 3-1 in the championship games right here in their own backyard. And so, of course, they're going to definitely want to win this one.
And, of course, last year they beat Pebble Hill 66-41, a team from El Paso. The Tucson Magnet High School 62-41, so kind of similar scores there. And lost the heartbreaker to Farmington 61-57. So 4-point loss in that game in the championship. Tonight, probably not one of the toughest opponents they'll see this season. El Paso Parkland coming in with a 3-17 record. And a lot of redundant games, too. They played Clint, Texas 4 times, Santa Lazaro 4 times, Bowie, Texas 2 times, and Mountain View 2 times. So 12 of their 20 games have been repeats, so that doesn't really give you a true signal what they look like. But if you look at their first handful of games, they had a point production of 11, 15, 13, 15, 19, 15, and 6. And 18. So he tells you there's not a lot of offensive production. They are averaging 25 points a ball game. This should be a game that the Eagles would come out strong and get that first win in the tournament if you want to look at numbers.
Exactly. If you want to look at numbers, you can look at Janet Contreras, who has she's got the point average of 8.2 and rebounds 6.1. So she does get after the ball, and she does try to make her shots. But unfortunately for them, it's not enough to get any wins. And they also have a 40% roughly in field goal percentage. So they're a little struggling with the shots, whether it be 3 points, 2 points, but they are trying, and Plenty of games, unfortunately, though. 3-game losing streak as they come into here.
Matadors have the biggest problem with turnovers, 21.7 a game. We know the Hobbs Lady Eagles can swarm on defense, especially around the perimeter in the trap look. Coach Carpenter is known to do that, to get everybody out there and take care of business, so that might cause them fits in El Paso Parkland's offense.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they had single digits after the first half, because Hobbs is just that tenacious. They get you, they stifle you as far as your rhythm. They throw you off balance, and all they do is just press, press, press.
Of course, last week the Lady Eagles finished up the last game before the break against Mayfield here at Tasco Arena, 62-23 the final in that one. So definitely a breeze victory in that contest. Mercy rolled through much of it. Hobbs only out-rebounded the Trojans by 1, though, 34-33. But the big numbers you look at is the scoring opportunities. 14 assists for the Lady Eagles, just 4 for Mayfield. 12 steals for Hobbs, just 6 for Mayfield. That tells you right there some tough defense being played. Also had 6 blocks in the game. The Lady Eagles shot 38% from the field, which isn't great numbers, but they held Mayfield to 13. That tells you top-notch defense.
Exactly, and we know they come in here, they come out strong with the defense, and they're also really good with those quick, fast break points as well.
And 35% from three-point range was nothing to sneeze at. We got the national anthem starting here at Tasco Arena, so we'll take a 90-second break and get ready for Lady Eagles Hoops live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Welcome back to Tasker Arena, the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, 63rd annual here at Tasker. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station tonight. Hobbs Lady Eagles taking on El Paso Parkland for the first round of the tournament. Of course, we mentioned Eagles were in the championship game last year and lost a heartbreaker to Farmington. This year, looks like they'll have a good start to the tournament. And you got to remember something, Ron. This team starts 5 sophomores now on the roster. Brett Clay, Nakia Mojica, Brent Hargrove, Kendall Cunningham, and Jayla David. Pretty dominant players at that. If you look at their numbers this season, Brent Hargrove leads in 3 categories: point production, 11.2 a game. She also leads in assists at 3.3 and steals 3.2. You got to love to have a player that can play both offense and defense for your squad.
Exactly, and both, the fact that they're young means they may make a few mistakes, but it seems like so far this season they have not made any mistakes, especially after losing the heartbreaker of Anthony Wisdom to an injury. We thought it would be just like last year. They'd struggle a little bit before they got their rhythm and got their evenness as far as playing with each other. They have hit the ground running, and they're doing a great job. So far, we expect nothing but great things for them, especially tonight.
Another sophomore starter, Kendall Cunningham, second on scoring for the team at 11 points a game. Also has 4.7 rebounds. On down the list, lots of these players getting close to double digits on the season. Brett Clay, the sophomore, she averages 9.8 points a game and a leading rebounder at 6.2. The thing about her is she's not the tallest player out there, but she gets off the floor big time.
Exactly, and she's got a lot of energy, and she knows how to use it. That's something that I know I have troubles with from time to time, but yeah, she definitely can make things move and groove on that court like nobody else.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with out there tonight. We mentioned Kendall Cunningham a minute ago. I forgot to bring up the point, too, that she needs 52 rebounds to reach 300 in her high school career, so that would be definitely a good thing to get working on in this game. Other starters tonight, Jayla David, she's just a sophomore as well, averaging 9.6 a game. in terms of points and 4.7 rebounds. All these girls hovering around the 5 rebound mark, so that's pretty exciting there. And last but not least, the point guard, Nakia Mojica, averaging 7.1 points a ball game. So lots of scores stepping up. We mentioned the player that's been hurt for several weeks and will not be here for the season, but a lot of people are starting to play ball. Number 1 in the Max Preps poll, the Hobbs Lady Eagles.
And number 1 in state as well, so that is always a good thing. They are playing lights out ball, and they are being noticed for it as well. So that's always a plus, a good thing.
And you look at the future, too, with just sophomores, 5 starters. You got a couple more seasons left in Hobbs Lady Eagles uniforms. So that's what we're looking at tonight. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles starting Brett Clay, Nakia Mojica, Brent Hargrove, Kendall Cunningham, and Jayla David for the black and gold tonight. And for the Parkland High School Matadors out of El Paso, Michaela Salazar, who's averaging 3.7 points a game. Anna Valenzuela, 4.9 a game and 3.2 rebounds. Jasmine Lozano averaging 7.8 a game, 3.6 rebounds a contest, and leads the team in steals at 2 a game. Janet Contreras, the top scorer on the team at 8.2 points a contest and leads with rebounds at 6.1. And Ruby Frere, 3.2 points a game and 2.2 rebounds. By the way, not one person on this team is averaging at least 1 assist a game. That tells you something offensively, only averaging 25 points a game and 21 turnovers. So Lady Eagles are probably going to take advantage of that on the perimeter.
Yeah, plus they're averaging per game 63.7 points. I think they can do a little bit better than that. But you know what? It's just going to be a fun game to watch, especially since we're at the holiday tournament.
Lady Eagles wearing their white uniforms and black outline on the numbers, and it's going to be gold and black for the Matadors of El Paso, Parkland. The tip into the front court taken by the Lady Eagles quickly. Brett Clay goes backdoor with the pass and an easy layup to start this one off. Nakia Mojica, 2-0 early on here at Tasker Arena. Opening round of the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Parkland comes across the half court. Ball gets stripped at the timeline, taken away and laid up on the right side by Brent Hargrove. Quick early lead, 4-0, and 1 turnover already for the Matadors.
Yeah, we knew this could happen. They are tenacious on the D, and they're never relenting.
And one player hits the floor for Parkland as the trap pressure going on, and getting back up, Jasmine Lozano. They get across the timeline. Salazar unloads the left wing to Valenzuela. To the timeline, one hands it over to the far right wing, and it sails out of bounds, and it'll be another turnover for the Matadors.
Yeah, it's going to take them a moment to get their sea legs under them, so to speak, because this defense is just going to be all over them.
4-0 your score, 7:15 remaining in the first quarter. Lady Eagles bring it across the timeline with a pass to Brett Clay, drives to the free throw line, jump stop, double team, flips it back right way to Mojica for 3, and swishes it home. Nakia Mojica leading the squad with 5 points and blanking El Paso 7-0. Inbound to the left corner of the backcourt, Valenzuela gets a double team, one hands it up the near sideline to Lozano. Comes to the timeline off the dribble to the far side, comes back to the left with a zigzag double team, knocked out of her hands by Mojica into the backcourt, and it's a 10-second violation. Another Matador turnover, number 3.
Yeah, they need to be a little more aggressive to get the ball across that timeline, or they're just going to lose the ball one way or the other. And it's going to be really difficult if they can't get on their end to score anything at all.
Wasn't surprised to see a timeout quickly for Valerie Chavez, the head coach of the Matadors, but they do trail 7-0. Inbound to Mojica, top of the arc. Waits for Cunningham on the screen, throws it left corner. 3 is on the way, rainbow jumper, and it's nothing but net for Hargrove. Her first tray of the game, tying up Mojica now, both with 5 points. They had 2-point buckets and the trays matching each other, and a bad pass up the far sideline for El Paso. Parkland for the 4th turnover, and not doing themselves any justice here. Lady Eagles hitting it from the outside, but then giving the ball right back to them.
Exactly. It's 2 trays in a row for the Eagles. I expected a timeout for Chavez, but no, she didn't do it yet.
Hobbs going to set up their offense, dump it to Cunningham, left elbow, tries to dump it low and gets it stripped in the lane. First Lady Eagles turnover of the contest in the hands of Salazar. Stop and go up the far sideline, now in the front court. Uses up her dribble, though, gets some pressure on her by Mojica on the right wing. Pivoting, looking for help, throws it back deep to the timeline of Valenzuela. To the right sideline in front of the scores table. Bounce pass right wing to Lozano. Back again to Valenzuela. Shot from the right baseline, 10-footer no good. Put back up over the front of the rim. Off the iron for Lozano. Can't get it to drop. And a long rebound for the Lady Eagles. In transition is Brett Clay. Dribbles up left side. Gives it off to the corner. And a 3 on the way for Mojica. Gets her second tray and has 8 points.
And that's 3 trays in a row for the Hobbs Eagles.
Quickly, it's Salazar across the timeline. Hobbs up 13-0, and the ball gets knocked out of the hands of Salazar. Nice pressure from behind. for the Lady Eagles defense by Nakia Mojica. It looks like Parkland will retain possession in the front court, far right sideline. 13-0 your score. 8 for Mojica, 5 for Hargrove, and you mentioned those 3 trays so far. Inbound far sideline, Salazar. And it appears to be a 5-second violation, which is the 5th turnover, too. I don't think they like that number 5 right now.
5 and 10, they don't like those at all. They're just having trouble getting the ball out, and even when they do, they're having trouble keeping the handle on it.
Mojica will take her time across the timeline. A 1-2-1-1 zone. Don't see that very often. They move out of it quickly, though. Up top to Clay. Spins in the lane, leans and shoots over the front of the rim, and puts it through for 2. Put her body on the line that time. First bucket for Clay, and the score increases to 15-0 over El Paso Parkland. Stop and go dribble for Salazar. Crossover to the near side in front of the Taskovich band. Fumbles near the timeline. She brings it across. Bad pass deflected in the backcourt. Almost taken away by the Lady Eagles. Picked up by Parkland. Driving the lane right side. An errant layup on the right for Lozano. No good. And the Lady Eagles get the rebound. Coming across the timeline is Clay, her second board. Sends it to a wide open Hargrove in the left corner and drains the rainbow 3. Hargrove with another tray with 8 points. 4 trays have been hit for the Lady Eagles. And finally a timeout for Valerie Chavez, the head coach of the Matadors. 18-0 Hobbs. 4:51 remaining here in Task Arena. The 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament continues in 60 seconds.
The Hobbs Holiday Tournament would like to thank our sponsors, NMR Pipeline, Thriftway La Tienda, Hydrotech Services, Coffee House, RMS Foods, Outlaw Grill, Albertsons Market, and Eunice Pump and Supply.
Back at Task Arena, Ty friend Ron Gunner with you tonight. First round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. The Lady Eagles leading over El Paso Parkland 18-0. Parkland's had a few errant shots off the mark, about 3 of them so far. 2-2-1, full court trap pressure for the Lady Eagles. Ball in the hands of Salazar, got away at the travel, throws it up court. Mid of the half court to Janeth Contreras. Back over to the left side of Salazar and sends it across the timeline to Contreras. Dumps it to the left wing. 3 on the way for Valenzuela off the back of the rim. No good. Ripped down at the free throw line for the Lady Eagles, and then dribbling out of traffic is Bryn Hargrove. Now in the front court, no hippity hop. That's Clay, her 3rd rebound. Her tray is up. They're going to say her foot was on the line, but Clay will get her 2nd bucket and has 4 points now. Hobbs extends her lead to 20-0, the biggest of the ball game. And nice swat on the D for the Lady Eagles, and the pressure. Matson Zapata, who just checked in during the timeout, knocked out of bounds on the far sideline backcourt.
Shooters are showing a nice touch on the basketball. It's going right into the basket. Very little problem so far.
Kayla Salazar across the timeline. Throws it top of the arc to Lozano. Drives the lane. Hippity-hop shot off the back of the rim. Gets her own rebound and goes back up underneath the right side of the iron and is fouled. The ball comes over the iron, but she'll get 2 free throws. So that will be a rebound from Lozano, her 2nd. And they'll call the foul against the Lady Eagles, Kendall Cunningham. And that will put the Matadors on the line for their first opportunity at free throws.
We talked about the fact that they're bad at field goal shots. They're also not very great at free throws, because I think if I remember correctly, they only have about a 44% shot average on that.
They made 92 out of 208 after the first one, and the second one bounced around and good. So going 1 of 2 is Lozano. First point of the game for the Matadors, but 20-1 your score. Lady Eagles up by the 19. Coming across the timeline is Zapata. Backs it out to the time stripe. Gives off to the right wing to Hargrove. Dump it on the right elbow to David. Spins and throws it down the lane, but throws it behind her guard on the break. Zapata underneath the basket that time. Ball goes to the baseline. The Lady Eagles' 2nd turnover. Trying to force a backdoor pass on that cut.
And maybe they're trying new things. Who knows, but just didn't work that time.
Contreras inbound on the right baseline of the backcourt. Gets it in to Valenzuela. Pivots at the free throw line. Kick it back left. And return back deep once again to Lozano. One-hand pass to the half court is stolen away by Cunningham. Bounce pass backdoor on the righty. Layup missed, but put back up by Cunningham on the left glass for the point. 2 points, and she's got a rebound on top of that. That was after the 6th turnover, and El Paso Parkland tried to get the ball in. We got a whistle on the play as the ball was deflected out of bounds. And we got a substitution as well for the Lady Eagles on the court for the first time tonight. Desiree Vasquez, she comes in for Jayla David. Lady Eagles already with 4 scores. Clay, Mojica, Hargrove, and Cunningham. Leader 8 for Hargrove and Mojica, 4 for Clay, 2 for Cunningham. The shot down the lane off the back of the rim, no good. Cunningham gets her second board. Crossover move in the front court, right side of the lane, and dish off to the right corner. Couple of dribbles up top for Hargrove. Gives it to Clay, gives it back to the right side to Hargrove. To Cunningham on the right elbow. To Clay in the right corner. Drives baseline against double team pressure. Spin move. Back outside to Hargrove for 3. Barely hits the front of the iron, no good. But a rebound underneath was pulled down by Desiree Vasquez. As she threw it out to the left corner, the whistle. Looks like they got a travel call there. And that'll be the Lady Eagles' 3rd turnover before that J from the left corner. 22-1. Lady Eagles with their biggest lead right now. A 21-point lead. 3:05 left first quarter. Coming across the timeline is Salazar, far right. Slides to the left and then gives it up to the right wing to Valenzuela. Tries to go backdoor on the alley-oop over the head of Contreras, out of bounds on the baseline. And the 7th Matador turnover.
Yeah, called her flat-footed. She didn't even try to get up on that one. If she did, maybe there was a chance she could have made something of it, but she didn't.
Underneath the 3-minute mark here in the opening quarter, the Lady Eagles up 22-1. On the right wing in the front court is Mojica. Over to left corner to Clay. Crossover move, and she moved both feet before she took off with the dribble. And that will be the traveling violation. Hobbs been hit with that 2 in a row now. That's their 4th turnover. And those are called unforced errors, I guess, just like in baseball. 2:37 left in the opening quarter. Bounce pass to the timeline, stripped out of the hands of the Matadors of Michaela Salazar. Good pressure on that near sideline in front of the Taskovich band by Mojica. Not able to get the grasp on it, so we'll be Parkland basketball.
Looks like they're setting up for an offense. That is, of course, the Lady Matadors.
1-2-2, trap pressure, half-court pressure for the Lady Eagles. Getting past the defender down the lane. A runner's shot on the way, no good off the back of the rim for Lozano. And that was pulled down for the Lady Eagles in traffic. Vasquez getting her second rebound, throws it down the right lane. Shot taken in movement by Hargrove in the air, no good. Tipped up by Clay. Her 4th rebound doesn't go. Goes up a second time on the right side of the rim. This time gets fouled. Count the basket. 5 rebounds for Brett Clay and a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, that was well worth it. I mean, she tried. She was surrounded by Lady Matadors. You would have thought that they would have gotten something on that one, but no, instead she goes up twice, 3 times, makes it, and gets the foul. So she gets that 3-point play possible.
Ruby Frere, first foul on her, first on the team. Free throw off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down in the middle of the paint by Janet Contreras. Bad pass stolen away by the Lady Eagles for the 8th turnover. Underneath the basket for the scoop shot. Mojica can't get it to drop, and pulled down for the Matadors by Valenzuela. Sends it ahead to the front court, right wing to Frere. Frere pivots, and then we got a crossover move, and then she kind of flops the ball over on the carry. So Parkland just picked up their 9th turnover.
It looked like she was on the line when she got the ball. She was beyond the half court, so turnover.
24-1. Lady Eagles their biggest lead of 23 here in the first quarter, 1:50 remaining. Pass to the front court, right wing to Zepeda. Gives it back same side to Mojica for 3. Hard shot at the back of the rim, high in the air. Pulled down, though, on the left baseline. Reverse slam to the right. Missing on the reverse is Hargrove. We got a clash of the rebound. And going up for the Lady Eagles, Jayla David. They're going to say it came off her hand as she was battling pretty tough with Janet Contreras. They're going to say El Paso Parkland basketball.
Looks like they're just letting them play out for a little while.
Ball comes into the far sideline to Salazar. Slides left, throws it in the paint backcourt to Lozano. Double team strip by Hargrove for the 11th turnover. Sends it to the left corner. Zepeda thought about a 3, instead goes down low. Shot taken underneath, left block by Vasquez. Tries to go back up and gets it knocked out of her hands. And that will be, looks like Hobbs basketball on the right baseline underneath the hoop. With 1:23 left first quarter. New sub coming in for El Paso. That's Jada Mason seeing her first time. Inbound wide open for the layup on the right side is Matson Zepeda. Just a 5'4" freshman gets in between traffic there and lays it in for 2. 26-1, biggest lead now is 25 for the Lady Eagles here in the first quarter. Coming across the timeline, getting some pressure, Lozano. Good D by Zepeda. Off to the right wing with the pass to Salazar. Stop and go, touch pass right corner to Mason. Gets stripped by the Lady Eagles defense. Getting a hand on it was Vasquez and knock it out on that right sideline. So everybody's aggressive on that perimeter run.
Absolutely they are, and this is, like I said, it's going to give the Lady Matadors fits trying to figure out exactly what to do and how to score with this Tenacious D. So far, not even a field goal yet for the El Paso team.
The inbound at half court was a lofter, and trying to jump up for it for the Matadors, getting knocked to the ground, was Jasmine Lozano. Ball sailed over her head. I think the Hobbs Lady Eagles got a piece of that. Might have been Brett Clay that tipped it out, or possibly Brent Hargrove there at the half line. It's going to be Matador basketball in front of the scores table, far sideline. Inbounding is Salazar, throws it back into the backcourt to Lozano. Right back to Salazar, but overthrows her, taken away from the Lady Eagles by Jayla David, turnover number 12 for El Paso Parkland. Has some trouble with the dribble coming across as it chase it down. Sends it right wing to Mojica, backdoor to Jayla David on the give and go, misses the righty layup, and pulled down on the rebound by Valenzuela for El Paso. The transition pass out to the near sideline is knocked out of bounds in the passing lane. Mojica to punch it out. So the Matadors will retain possession deep in their backcourt left corner. Coach Carpenter was trying to get a sub into size to pull him out here, and going to wait till the end of the quarter. Inbound comes to Salazar, getting some pressure on top of her. Mojica at the time, or the baseline. Pass to the far side to the Lozano, to timeline, coming across Lozano. Tries to drive down the lane, lost the ball as Cunningham rips it away for turnover number 13. Gives it off to her guard, Mojica, now in the front court off the dribble. Crossover move. Sends it to a wide open. Hargrove deep left corner for three. In and out, no good. David rips it down on the right block. Fade away in the middle of the paint. It's no good. And ripped down by Valenzuela for her third rebound for Parkland. Outlet to the far side to Lozano. Down the lane with a high layup over the front of the rim by Mason. Gets hammered as she goes up underneath the hoop. And that'll be a foul, stopping the clock at 5.9 left here in the first quarter. That will be the Lady Eagles' second foul as they charge that one to Cunningham, her second.
Just no answer so far for these Lady Matadors as far as what to do with this defense that the Eagles are putting on.
First free throw is a brick, doesn't even hit the rim. It comes off the right glass, no good for Mason. She'll get one more. Matadors are 1 for 3 on the charity stripe. Their only point coming on the line.
Just not good on the line, these Matadors.
And the second one, I don't think hits the front of the rim this time either.
It did.
And you hear the Hobbs student section, which is pretty good tonight, being on the holiday vacation, as they chant air ball. 26-1, a 25-point lead with 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Coming across the timeline, Hargrove left wing, wide open for a tray. Hits his left rim, no good. Rebound at the buzzer by Contreras. The Lady Eagles up big over El Paso. Parkland, 26-1. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagle Network. Welcome back to the 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. The Lady Eagles leading big in the first round, 26-1 over El Paso Parkland. The scoring in the first quarter, just 1 point for Jasmine Lozano. They are 1 for 4 on the line for the Matadors. For your Lady Eagles, 8 apiece for Nakia Mojica, Bryn Hargrove, both hitting 2 trays apiece. 6 for Brett Clay on 3 buckets. Matson Zepeda with 2 and Cunningham with 2. Lady Eagles basketball to start the second quarter to Cunningham in the right block, front court. She's going to get tied up by 2 defenders on top of her, Valenzuela and Contreras, and the arrow going to go to El Paso Parkland for the Lady Eagles' 5th turnover. There was 13 turnovers for Parkland, again 5 now for the Lady Eagles. Hobbs out rebounding the Matadors, 10-7 in the first quarter. Trap pressure still for the Lady Eagles. A strip in the backcourt by Nakia Mojica. Throws it ahead to a breaking, reverse layupping Hargrove for her 10th point of the ball game and the 14th Matador turnover. Biggest lead of the contest is now 27, 28-1 your score. Another steal for the Lady Eagles Backdoor pass as Clay goes up with the lefty and puts it through. Her 8th point of the game off the steal by Desiree Vasquez in turnover number 15. Into the front court comes Salazar. She'll hold on to it near the Taskovich band. Ball gets knocked out of her hands momentarily by Mojica. Sends it to the left wing. 3 on the way for Valenzuela. Clanks off the left of the rim, and it rolls out of bounds. No chance for a rebound for the Gold and Black squad, the visitors from El Paso. Sub in the game for the Matadors, Brooklyn Lopez, the freshman, seeing her first action for the El Paso team.
Yeah, the Lady Matadors have not seen a whole lot of clean shots. So that was one of them, but just could not connect with the basket.
Hargrove will come across the timeline off the dribble. Finds Clay on the right wing, down to the right corner. A 3 on the way for Mojica. Hits hard off the rim high and put down on the rebound on the left elbow for El Paso Parkland by Contreras, but she is tied up quickly. And the arrow's going to go for the Lady Eagles. That will count as a turnover for Parkland. They're 16th. Yes, left baseline inbound. Down the lane to Cunningham, right side. Leans into the glass, puts it off there, and scores. Cunningham now at 4 points. 32-1, a 31-point lead. Of course, the mercy rule doesn't come into effect until the second half, but a pickoff by Cunningham at the timeline for the 8-17 turnover. Gets the ball back after a pass to the right wing to Mojica. Cunningham with a fadeaway in the paint. They're going to say she shuffled her feet first and picks up the 6th Lady Eagles turnover on the travel.
That's their 3rd travel in this half so far.
Coach Carpenter is going to bring a sub into the game now for the Lady Eagles. That's Elena Bolton seeing her first action. Another sophomore on the court now at 6 foot. One of the tallest on the team at one of the post positions. The inbound coming in on the far right sideline, stripped away from Lopez by Brett Clay for the 18th turnover. Cross court left on the pass to Hargrove. One hands it back to Clay. She's going to spot up a 3 on the right side off the right rim. Chased down in the left corner by Valenzuela, her 4th rebound for El Paso. Unloads it to Salazar, lost the ball. Coming down the lane is Hargrove, and she gets hammered. She tried to come down with a crossover move and a layup over the front of the rim, knocked to the floor. I'm going to see if they're going to call this a shooting foul. Regardless, that was the 19th Parkland turnover.
And it seems like no matter how many times Parkland gets the ball, there's always at least 1 or 2 Eagles on them trying to swat that ball away and get them back. And that's the reason why they had so many turnovers so far. A little hard off the back of the rim on that one for that first shot for a big miss. But still, 32-1 with 6 minutes left in this second quarter. Not bad so far.
Hobbs came in 65% from the line. Hargrove was just 33%, but does make her second. She went 1 of 2, has 11 points to lead the squad on 2 trays so far in this first half. 33-1, the biggest lead at 32. Long ball is fumbled out of bounds. Hobbs gets a piece of it. We're going to see if it was knocked out by Parkland at the other baseline. They're going to give it to the Matadors. Fans not liking that one. Is clapping is Jada Mason. So right baseline underneath the Parkland bench. Referee kind of smiling at all the boos. Inbound comes left corner deep to Salazar. Kicks it left wing to Mason for 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Put back up with a fadeaway on the right block by Becerra. It's no good. Still loose in the lane. Going back up with the shot underneath the hoop was Contreras. And her shot gets swatted out of bounds. Contreras with her 4th rebound. The fans still booing the ref on that last possession call.
I don't know why they are, because, nothing has happened so far for the Lady Matadors. They're getting very few breaks as it is in this game.
Pass around the perimeter to Becerra, top of the arc. Tries to sling it back to the left side. Pulled down by Valenzuela. Drives middle of the paint, stripped. And then getting the ball and getting tripped after she got the steal was Zepeda, and the foul will be called. That will be the 20th turnover, as that will be also the 2nd Parkland foul of the ball game. This one will be charged to Valenzuela, her first.
Yeah, she picked herself up off the floor to seem like there was no ill effects, so she's going to be staying in the game.
Actually, that's the 3rd foul, or 2nd foul for Valenzuela, 3rd team foul for Parkland. 33-1, 5:31 left in the second. Hobbs Lady Eagles up by 32 points. They'll take their time across the mid-stripe there. Is coming across as Hargrove off the dribble. A 1-2-2 zone. Over to Clay on the right wing, spins, kicks it back top to Hargrove, fires away a 3 off the back of the iron, pulled down on the right side, thrown back up for the Lady Eagles by Vasquez, no good. Cunningham tried to go back up with it on the left block, able to get it to drop. Pass down low to the right block, missed off the shot again for the Lady Eagles to Vasquez. And now it's El Paso Parkland in the transition game as Lozano coming across the timeline. Fumbles the ball off herself, and now we got a tie-up across the timeline. That will be an arrow for the Lady Eagles. So another Parkland turnover, their 21st of the ball game. So lots of opportunities for the Lady Eagles trying to score on the offensive end.
It definitely is, and just nothing but tenacious D from this defense of the Eagles.
4:57 left, second quarter. Hobbs up by 32. Slowing the offense up again is Hargrove. Zone defense still for Parkland. Fakes a handoff to Clay on the top of the arc. Instead finds Zepeda in the right corner, and she fires up the tray. The freshman nails it. She's got 5 points, and that is the 5th tray for the Lady Eagles here in the first half. And then a bad pass out of bounds on the near sideline of the backcourt. Hobbs will get it back again on the 22nd Matador turnover.
There was no Eagles around. She had no reason to drop that ball, but maybe she just thought she heard footsteps. Either way, lost it.
Hargrove top of the arc against the 1-2-2 zone. Over to Clay right wing, and her three-pointer goes right through the threads. Clay with her first tray of the game. She's got 11 points to tie up Hargrove. Steal on the inbound. Clay on the left block. Tries to spin. Instead passes to the left elbow. A shot on the way. The J bouncing around the rim and good from that left elbow. And the Lady Eagles continue to put on the points. That was Hargrove, who now has 13 to lead the squad. 41-1. The biggest lead now is 40 here in the second quarter. 4:07 remaining. It will be a mercy roll in the second half. Up the near sideline in the front court, Salazar gets double teamed and then tied up. Double team pressure there by Jayla David. And also had some help from Zepeda. And the arrow is going to go to Parkland. They'll save the ball. Inbound to the free throw line to Contreras. Pivoting. Throws it back door, left block to Lozano. Fade away, air ball. Pulled down by Clay. Tries to dribble up the left baseline. It's knocked out of her hands. That will be a rebound for Clay. The Eagles will get it back. For Brett Clay, that's her 6th rebound of the contest. 41-1. Hobbs up by 40.
And it is all Eagles so far in this game, as we suspected it might be.
Hargrove uses the screen from Cunningham. Pass down to the right corner. 3 on the way for Zepeda off the back of the rim. Chase down to the far right sideline for the Matadors by Contreras, her 5th rebound. Dish off to the far sideline to Lozano. Bring it across down the middle of the lane. Throws up a shot. Double clutch off the back of the rim. Bodies crashing on the floor. Late whistle underneath. It looks like they might call the Lady Eagles on a block foul, though. And that might be some free throws for El Paso. Their only point coming off a free throw earlier. And they'll charge that one to David, her first. 3rd team foul against Hobbs. And 2 free throws now for the Matadors.
That was one of the better possessions for the Lady Matadors, it looked like, except for the fact that she missed the shot mainly because of the foul. However, they're still scrapping in here. They may only have 1 point, but they're still trying. They have not given up yet.
Lozano bricked off the back of the rim. She's now 1 of 3 from the line. She's the only one that has scored a free throw or point in the ball game. As a team, they are 1 of 5. Now make it 2 of 6 as she makes her 2nd free throw and gets a sarcastic applause from the Hobbs student section. 41-2. Top of the arc. Pass for Clay down low to David. Goes up strong off the glass right side. Just leaving the hoop and puts it through. David now with her first bucket of the ball game. 43-2. 41-point lead, the biggest of the game. And the tip on the inbound of the far sideline off the hands of the Lady Eagles, Matson Zepeda. And that'll be El Paso Parkland's ball on the far right sideline of the backcourt. Substitution coming in for Coach Chavez. And coming in for them is Ruby Frere. She's one of the starters. Inbound deep in the backcourt to Salazar. Sends it to the left side to Lozano. Back deep again to Salazar. Across the timeline, a long one to Mason, stripped away. And there's Brett Clay after the 24 turnover for the Matadors. Finds Cunningham left baseline, 18-footer, and puts it through the hole. Cunningham now with 6 points off the J and a 43-point Eagle lead. The inbound to the near sideline, dribbling up is Salazar. Lost it off her leg out of bounds, and that'll be another Matador turnover, number 25. They averaged 21.7 coming to the game. They're already past that here in the second quarter.
Exactly, and it's just nothing but the Hobbs Eagles so far in this first half.
Clay will get the pass in the left wing. Jab step, comes down the lane, dumps it back door to David. Spins underneath the pressure, throws up a shot at the front of the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound as David gets tied up quickly. Both players on top of it with Janet Contreras for the Matadors. And we got the arrow, and we'll stay with the Lady Eagles. Clock stops at 2:39 left in the second. Again, the mercy rule doesn't come into effect until the second half. Hobbs inbound from the left baseline. Open for the right wing as Zepeda lost the ball on the inbound, had to go back and track it. Gives to David on the right elbow, turns and fires to Jay. It's off the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound on the far sideline by Lozano, her 4th. Into the front corner, the crossover move, right wing, zigzagging. Lost the ball, ripped away by Zepeda, and then Zepeda gets pushed after the steal as they call the foul on Lozano. That'll be her first. 14th foul on the Matadors, and their 26th turnover. You got to be impressed by Madison Zepeda's defense, a freshman coming off the bench.
Exactly, plus that foul was necessary. It was just open court for him, for her.
Long pass down low on the inbound right block, leading a shot for David, no good. Rebound for the Matadors by Contreras, her sixth. Steal by Cunningham, and gives a touch pass to the right wing, and a three on the way, and nailing it home is Mojica. Her third tray of the game, and 11 points for her. Lady Eagles now have 3 players in double figures. 48-2, the biggest lead is 46. Long pass is stolen by Cunningham. That'll be the 28th turnover. She'll take it to the rack herself on the right side and lays it in for 2. Cunningham now has 8 points. She's getting close to double digits. 50-2, a 48-point lead. Another steal, this time by Mojica. Puts it down the middle of the lane. Shot on the way over the front of the rim as they foul Brett Clay. She'll get 2 free throws out of it. So things are continuing to unravel for the Matadors, who now trail 50-2. 1:40 left here in the first half. Brett Clay 0 for 1 on the line. Lady Eagles as a team 1 for 3 so far for 33%, and swishes her first one there.
Make it look easy, very easy so far in this first half.
12 points for Brett Clay, 13 for Hargrove, 8 for Cunningham. And so Mojica also with 11. Second shot is up and good for Clay. She made both of them. 13 for her now. 50-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Half-century mark there. Spinning out of traffic, Salazar across the timeline, midcourt. Stop and go, left wing. Dribbles out in front of herself, gets a double team in the left corner. Now against David. David chesting her up, no call. Pickoff on the near sideline. Nice D for the Lady Eagles by Munoz. Throws it down the lane, and her layup on the right side is missed, but tipped back up and in by Brett Clay right behind Mojica, as Clay down with her 7th rebound and 15 points, 54-2. 52-point lead now, biggest of the game. In the front court is Lozano. Slings it down to the left corner. David's going to pick it off for another turnover. She'll drive and put it down to the right block to Mojica. Back it out to the corner. Back to David on the right block. Turns and fires the shot. Point blank range. Right side of the paint. Puts it through. David. A day at the office has 4 points now and a 54-point Lady Eagle lead. That clock's going to be running in the third quarter. Far pass to the right sideline. Coming across is Lozano. Getting a double team with Brett Clay. Bounce pass in the lane to Cunningham. The steal, throws it up ahead for another turnover. And Cunningham tries to find a couple of teammates up ahead, but throws it to the baseline. And they might give it back to El Paso. You can see the fans starting to erupt here at Task Arena. That will be a turnover for the Lady Eagles. They're 7th.
It's amazing. They make a lot of noise when they're unhappy. They haven't made a whole lot of noise so far. This has been a shooting clinic for the Hobbs Lady Eagles so far.
And defense, 20, 30-some turnovers at this point. Another fumble in the lane. Cunningham will take it away for the Matador turnover. She comes down the lane, double clutch over the front of their iron, at least trying to get it there. Hammered from behind by Janet Contreras, her first foul, 15th foul. And that will put Cunningham a first opportunity on the charity stripe in this ball game. She is shooting 75% for the season, which is best on the team, actually 75.9. Behind her is Nakia Mojica, who came to the game at 75%. According to the team, was at 65% before this game started. Cunningham has yet to shoot the free throw. First one's up and good. She's got 7 of her 9 points here in the second quarter. And a couple of those coming off of steals. She just took it to the rack after that.
Exactly. That's what I love about the Hobbs Eagles. They always love their fast break points, and they're definitely doing it tonight.
One more opportunity here for Cunningham. Second shot is up, and it is good as well. 10 points for Cunningham. Another double-digit scorer. That's 4 now for Hobbs. 17 seconds left in the half. 58-2, 56-point lead. Now the biggest of the game. Pass across the timeline to Mason. Gets it back to the time stripe to Lozano with 8 seconds. She gets tied up momentarily. No jump ball call. Bounce pass timeline to Lopez. On the right wing off the dribble. Double team pressure stripped away by Brett Clay right before the buzzer. That will go down as a turnover and a steal. At the end of the first half, a rout here at Task Arena. First round of the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles 58, El Paso Parkland 2. We're back in 3 minutes on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Back at halftime here at the 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Ty, friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you tonight. Hobbs up 58-2 over Parkland in the first round. And we do know that the winner of this game will play Organ Mountain as they defeated Highland earlier today, 69-53, a 16-point win. That game will be tomorrow night. That'll be
6:45?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be at 6:15 or 6:30, just like it was tonight, I believe. So I double check on that. I don't want to mess everything up there. I might have wrote that down in the wrong bracket. Do I have the boys? No, that should be the girls. Yeah, Organ Mountain beat Highland 69-53. I had it right the first time. Sorry about that. So they will be playing tomorrow night. They had the wrong time listed on this bracket that I'm looking at. It says 8:15. That's the boys' game, not the girls. So that's what I was fumbling on there. But so Organ Mountain will be the next game, and ironically, that's the team the Hobbs boys play tonight. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes as well.
Exactly.
Ron, we do got some great sponsors for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball this season. Let's get to those.
Sure. It is NMR Pipeline for thanks for letting us be on the air, along with Thriftway, La Tienda, Hydrotech Services, Coffee House, RMS Foods, Outlaw Grill, good food there, along with Albertsons Market and Eunice Pump and Supply.
Of course, they'll be with us for the duration of the season, and of course, right after this tournament next week, both the Hobbs boys and the Hobbs girls are at the Albuquerque Metro Tournament. There's only 2 teams in both the boys and girls brackets that are from outside of the Albuquerque metro area. They do have some Rio Rancho teams in there too, but for some reason they decided to add Hobbs to the mix, and of course, because they're good teams, number one, but I'm not sure what the decision was on getting them in there, but they did make it. Going to be kind of a weird schedule. We'll try to get some more on that as the holiday tournament moves along. We got several more games here first. Let's take a look at the numbers of this game so far. 58-2 is the score. It will be a mercy roll in the third quarter. Not much to speak of for the Matadors. 2 points is it for Jasmine Lozano. She is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. So that's about it for the offense for Parkland. They are 2 of 6 from the line as a team for 33%. Their top rebounder, Janet Contreras, who hasn't scored yet. She's got 6 boards, 4 apiece for Valenzuela and Lozano. They finish up with 15 or make it 16 rebounds in the first half of action. The big problem that they had was turnovers, 33 in the first half, and that was because of some tenacious Hobbs Lady Eagle defense.
Exactly. The 5 count, the 10 count, they're also just not able to get into the front court. It helps a lot to do that. This is the reason why they haven't scored a single field goal yet. They have gotten a couple of free throws, but they have had to do that off of several attempts. And again, this team is not good on free throws. They're not good on field goals. And they're getting disrupted by this tenacious defense the Lady Eagles have been throwing at them. We
should mention they do out-rebound the Lady Eagles in the first 2 quarters, 15-13, but a whole different situation. Hobbs is converting a lot of layups, and you don't have to have a lot of rebounds on stuff like that. Hobbs right now has 4 in double figures, I should say. Brett Clay leading the squad with 15 points. She hit 1 tray and was 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Also leads the team with rebounds with 7, so a big game for her so far. And a bunch of steals out there playing some very tough defense. Bryn Hargrove right behind her with 13 points in the first half. She's got a couple of trays and went 1 of 2 from the line. Nikia Bohica with 11 points with 3 trays in the ball game. And Kendall Cunningham, 10 points, 7 of those, or make that 8 of those in the second quarter. She was perfect on the line at 2 for 2. Matson Zepeda coming off the bench. The freshman had 5 points, including a tray. And Jayla David, one of the starters, sophomores, she had 4 points, all coming in the second quarter. So the Lady Eagles getting 4 in double digits, only 7 turnovers compared to 33. That's a big differential, Ron.
It definitely is, and that's just something that they are proud of, or, it's something that you cannot overlook, definitely.
6 3-point shots converted by the Lady Eagles in that first half. Definitely taking care of business from the outside. We mentioned the Lady Eagles getting out-rebounded 15-13 with a whole different offensive dimension, though, to kind of back that stat up. Brett Clay again leading with 7 for the Lady Eagles. 2 apiece for Cunningham and Vasquez, who came off the bench. The Lady Eagles have nobody in foul trouble at this point. They outscored El Paso Parkland 26-1 in the first quarter and 32-1 in the second quarter. So almost a mercy rule score this in the second quarter alone. Of course, the mercy rule is a 35-point lead, which is in the books at this point, up by 56. So it looks like this game will be coasting the next 2 quarters. And of course, we got the boys game coming up after this. We're going to take another break and come back here at halftime. Again, your Hobbs Lady Eagles leading El Paso Parkland 58-2 in the first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, coming back in 1 minute. Second half action starting here at Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Lady Eagles leading 58-2 over El Paso Parkland here in the first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. It is Matador basketball. We're in the gold uniforms, black numbers here on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. The bounce pass on the right wing, spinning with it is Lozano. Turnaround shot from the right block, no good. And pulled down by Jayla David, her second rebound. Sends it ahead to Mojica. Up top of the circle, fires over to Hargrove. Lost it behind her back a little bit there. I don't think she was completely turned around. It sails out of bounds. But only the 8 turnover again compared to 33 for El Paso Parkland.
Yeah, looks like she wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, mercy rule clock 2, Ron. That means it'll continue to run even out of bounds and stoppage of play, except for 2-shot free throws. It will stop on those.
And timeouts.
Michaela Salazar to stop and go in the front court. Gives it off to Lozano near the timeline. One-hand bounce pass, still the time strike to Valenzuela. Give and go to the free throw line to Lozano down the lane. A runner shot at the back of the rim. Ball tipped around, pulled down on the left side by Contreras, her 7. She goes to the rack with a lefty layup, no good. And Mojica with the Lady Eagles rebound, her first. She'll come across the timeline off the dribble. Sits it in the lane to Cunningham, right block. Back to Mojica, down the lane with the runner herself. Shot puts it off the back of the rim, no good. And a rebound on the right block for the Matadors by Contreras. Boy, the sneezes are starting here, Ron. Not the time of season for being on the radio. The interception at the timeline. Coming down the paint for the Lady Eagles, reverse layup. Hargrove off the right glass and scores. 15 points for Hargrove, the 34th Matador turnover, and chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, and they're just pouring it on once again. First points of the second half for the Lady Eagles, and they're also going to get a +1 off the effort as well.
That'll be a foul against Salazar, her first team foul. And Coach Carpenter calls a timeout. I'm not sure what he's talking to the team about. Up by 58 at this point. Maybe he's going to call off the dogs a little bit and let this game coast out. But 60-2, we'll take a 30-second break. Your Lady Eagles up by 58 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. $60-2 after a Hobbs Lady Eagle timeout. They lead by 58. A chance for a 3-point play as Hargrove will shoot a free throw. Made the bucket before that. She is 1 of 2 from the line, 50%. First shot, or one shot, is up off the front of the rim, though. Chased down on the near sideline. Pulled down by Valenzuela, her 5th board. Outlet to the timeline to Salazar, dribbled across. Goes up against Hargrove, top of the circle. Unloads to Valenzuela, right side. Dribble up the near sideline, uses it up. Good D by Cunningham right on top of her. Sends it to the free throw line, coming down the lane on the runner shot. Lozano off the front of the rim, can't get it to drop. Rip on the rebound underneath the hoop by Mojica, her second. And she'll take the dribble herself up midcourt. 5:40 left in the third. Top of the arc. Down to David in the middle of the paint. Turn around Jay off the front of the rim. Rolls around and good. Jayla David with her 6th point of the ball game. 62-60. The Hobbs' biggest lead is 60 points here in the third quarter on the Mercy Rule. Michaela Salazar will slow it down. Picking her up at the timeline is Hargrove. Pass to the near sideline to Valenzuela. Couple of dribbles down to the top of the arc. Comes around a double screen. Shot from 15. Fadeaway left side. Comes off the bottom of the glass. No good. Rebound for Cunningham in transition. Her third. And unloads across the timeline to Hargrove left wing. Drives the lane. Runner shot. And switch from the left side of the paint. Hargrove with 4 points here in the third. And 17 overall to lead the Lady Eagles. Up by 62. The biggest margin. Steal at the timeline is loose. Trying to get it back for the Matadors was Lozano. Fumbled it out of bounds. Looked like she last touched it, but they're going to give it to the Matadors regardless. And the Hobbs student section is going to be booing the official again here. They're getting under his skin a little bit here.
Yeah, that did look like an offensive loss, but, it's okay.
Salazar inbound and actually to the free throw line to Lozano. Comes down the paint. Pass to the right baseline. 10-footer, no good for Frere off the rim. Rebound for Brett Clay. That'll be her 8th and leading the team in the boards. To the right elbow. Pass to Mojica right wing for 3 off the front of the iron. On the left baseline is Salazar for the rebound. She'll dribble up the near sideline. Now in the front court for the Matadors. Mojica gets a hand on the ball, but pulling back from her is Salazar. Stop and go. Near sideline. Uses up her dribble near the time stripe. Going to pivot, put her butt into the defense of Mojica, and the travel going to be called as she moved that pivot foot. Almost thought they were going to call an offensive foul. She put her butt right in the gut of Mojica.
Yeah, she was trying anything and everything to get her off or get away from that defender, but it did not work, and she traveled to boot.
That'll be 35 turnovers now for El Paso Parkland. The clock is running on the Mercy Roll, 3:40. Don't forget, here in the third quarter, I should say. But the Hobbs boys will be next here on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Also, Cool 95.7 on the radio as they take on a team they've already played again this season, Oregon Mountain. First round of the boys' side of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Inbound on the left side, driving. Base is Bolton. Correction, that is Munez. She gets fouled going up with a lefty, and you'll get a chance for 2 free throws here. Called the foul against Valenzuela, her second team foul.
She had a nice shot there, but unfortunately too close to the basket.
Talk about all these 8th graders. Ron, all the sophomores. This is an 8th grader on the line, Kaislyn Munez, as she puts the first one through for the Lady Eagles, her first point of the ball game.
These are really 2 young teams going at it, and one side shows a lot.
Yeah, one seems like a seasoned youngster group, and the other one is trying to get themselves on track here. Free throws too good for Munez. She's got 2 points, 66-2. The biggest lead now, 64. Driving the lane, losing the ball in the air. Salazar, as it's pulled down for the Lady Eagles by Hargrove, sends it ahead to set up the offense, and then slowing it down at the top of the arc is Zepeda. Uses a screen, comes left with it on the perimeter. Fires the pass up top to Vasquez, dumps it in the paint, pivoting. With the basketball was Bolton, underhands it left wing, driving paint. Zepeda slings it back up top to Vasquez, but a bad pass on the far sideline is stripped away for the night turnover. Coming up across the timeline and dribbling to the base is Lozano, and got the ball knocked out of her hands that time from behind. And that will be, it looks like El Paso basketball is swatting the round ball that time for the Lady Eagles was Desiree Vasquez.
Also lost her balance and her footing.
Parkland will inbound right corner, their front court baseline, Lozano. Off to the left wing on the inbound of Valenzuela. Kicks it up top to Frere. To Valenzuela, top of the circle, off the foot of Salazar, left corner. She dribbles around her defenders, comes down the lane, tries a hook shot coming down the paint, and is fouled. Got double teamed that time as Zepeda and Bolton stepped up in the paint. And they're going to call the foul on the guard. Zepeda, her first. That'll be the first team foul for the Lady Eagles here in the second half, but we'll put Michaela Salazar on the line. She has yet to score in this game, hasn't shot a free throw. They're 2 of 6 as a team, though. First one's a brick off the back of the rim.
That is amazing. She has been all over the court, but yet to be on the free throw, and the first one, no good for her.
Trying to get some offense generated. No buckets yet for El Paso Parkland. Free throw up and good for Salazar. She's 1 of 2, has a point, 66-3. Hobbs by 63 with 1:30 left, third quarter. Coming across the timeline, Zepeda right wing, cross court left, and throws it behind her teammate Bolton, right to the cheerleaders on the near sideline for the turnover. That's the Lady Eagles' 10th of the ball game.
It looked a little lackadaisical as far as trying to catch the ball. She thought it was going to be in a certain place, misjudged it, and it went over her shoulder.
1:08 left, third quarter. Hobbs up 66-3. Coming across the timeline, Salazar sends it near side to Valenzuela. Up top, an errant throw, but chased down in the left wing by Frere. Dumps it left corner to Salazar. Fadeaway three is an air ball. Pulled down at the free throw line for the Lady Eagles by Bolton, her second board. To the time stripe to Zepeda. He'll bring it across with the dribble. Right wing. Dumps it to the right block. A spin in the lane. Lost the ball for just a second for the Lady Eagles. And tipped out to the right wing to Zepeda. Dumped down to the right block. Spinning is Richardson. Kicks it to the right corner again. To Zepeda, back to Richardson. To the free throw line. Driving lane is Vasquez. Shot on the way from the right block and puts it off the glass. Nice body control in the air for Vasquez. Her first points of the game. 68-3. The biggest lead now 65. 18 seconds left, third quarter. Mercy rule game underway. Valenzuela on the right wing, front court. Stop and go. Fumbles it off her own knee. Uses up her dribble now. Bounce pass on the right baseline to Lozano. Turns and fires an errant shot. Air ball. And the Lady Eagles rip it down. Vasquez with the third board. Pass to the right wing. A shot at the buzzer for Zepeda coming short underneath the hoop. And that will end the third quarter. Lady Eagles on a coasting W, looks like here into the third. 68-3 over El Paso Parkland. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with more 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament action on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. (68-3) your score. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles leading by 65, and we have the first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 5th annual for the Hobbs girls at least. Of course, the boys at 63rd here at Task Arena. And Ron, our sponsors for the action tonight.
They are proud to sponsor this Lady Eagles team. It's the NMR Pipeline, Thriftway, La Tienda, Hydrotech Services, Coffee House, RMS Foods, Outlaw Grill, Albertsons Market, and Eunice Pump and Supply.
Lady Eagles will start the fourth quarter with the basketball. Pass to the left wing by Muñez. Takes a few dribbles, dumps it left elbow. Driving the lane is Vasquez. Lost it in the paint as it's taken away by Valenzuela. The Lady Eagles 11 turnover. Outlet far sideline to Salazar. Left wing front court. Fourth quarter action here from Tasker. Back deep to the timeline to Lozano. Bounce pass is deflected off the hands of the Lady Eagles. Getting a piece of it was Muñez, but picked up on the far side by Salazar. Back deep to the near sideline to Valenzuela, guarded by David. David throws a hip into her and gets the foul on the near side. So David's second personal, second team foul. Only 5 fouls total for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in this ball game, and 7 for the Matadors. Only 2 in the second half for both squads. So this clock has been running, though, due to the mercy roll. 65-point lead, and 35 is the mercy roll. So Hobbs has plus 30 on that mercy roll situation right now. Ball comes to the timeline on the inbound to Valenzuela. Hands off to Salazar going from right to left. Kicks it down left corner to Lozano. Dump it in the paint. Left block to Contreras. Back out left corner to Salazar for 3, an air ball. And on the left block to get the rebound, Tiana Richardson, her first board. Throws it across the timeline to Zepeda. Uses up her dribble, looking for some help. Over to the right wing to Muñez. Down to the right baseline, and falling forward is David. Lost her footing and her chest hit right on the hardwood. Face on that baseline in front of the Lady Eagles bench with a 12 turnover. Looks like she might have tripped on that one.
She may have done a little bit, but she was able to walk that off.
6:20 left in the ball game. First round of the Hobbs All-Day tournament. Pass to the left wing, driving hard is Lozano left side. 15-footer off the glass, but no good. Pulled down by Richardson. Back-to-back rebounds for her. She's a junior, 5'8". Throws it across the timeline to Zepeda. Top of the circle after a screen from Richardson. Zepeda drives the right lane. Pass to the right corner, faking a threes. Muñez drives paint herself. Ball loose at the free throw line. David's going to dive for it. Gets the jump ball, but it's going to be an arrow for Parkland. Is diving on the floor as well was Janeth Contreras for the Matadors. And we'll go down as a turnover for the Lady Eagles, number 13. Nice to have a 65-point lead, though, Ron, here in the fourth quarter. Chance to get some subs on the court.
Exactly. It is a little bit of a comfort zone for the Hobbs Eagles. So, yeah, go ahead and put those subs in. What are they going to do, you know? Just learn some basketball.
Lady Eagles number 1 in the state in the Max Preps poll. Pretty exciting stuff, even without Wisdom Anthony, who's out for the season, of course. He was their leading scorer at that point when she went down.
And they're also number 1 in the state.
And then, by the way, that was the only loss of the season, was that game that she played against the Lubbock squad here at Tasker. Unfortunate ending to the season for her. And we wish her all the good recovery quickly here in the next few months. The pass is stolen away at the baseline. Save for the Lady Eagles by Zepeda. That would be another Parkland turnover. Ball thrown down court, and it overthrows Muñez to the baseline at the other end. Might have been touched by Parkland. We'll have to wait and see here. Waiting for the official signal as our referees are talking about it. It will be Hobbs basketball on the right baseline underneath their hoop. 4:48 remaining.
You know, I believe if she doesn't want to play basketball anymore, she's got a great career in ballerina.
Inbound to the left corner. Cunningham drives the free throw line. Pass back to the left wing to Muñez. Fires a three. Rainbow and good. Muñez coming off the bench. The 8th grader now with 5 points on the tray. That is the 8th three-point shot converted by the Lady Eagles in this game and have their biggest lead now at 68. 71-3. 4:18 remaining. In the front court is Salazar. Gives the ball off left wing to Lozano. Drives the middle of the paint. Throws up a shot. Cunningham went straight up. Got a piece of the ball in the air, but they might have got a chest foul there. I'm not sure what the call was, but she also got some help double team with Muñez. They'll call the foul on Cunningham, her third team foul. And a chance for free throws now for Jasmine Lozano. They are 3 of 8 from the charity stripe in this game.
Yeah, 1 in each quarter.
First free throw is off the back of the rim, no good for Lozano. In fact, she shot 5 of the free throws so far for El Paso Parkland. One more attempt here for Lozano is up and off the back of the rim. Too much reverse spin that time. Chased down in the right corner by Bolton, her 3rd rebound. Outlet, middle of the court. Coming across Zepeda with the slow down dribble now. Guarded by Lozano. In the front court. Crossover to the left side. To the top of the arc. Screened by Bolton. Drives underneath the hoop with a wraparound pass to the right corner. Right wing, I should say. 18-footer off the back of the rim for Vasquez. And a long rebound from Lozano for El Paso. Bounce pass backdoor to Valenzuela. Sails into the baseline. Out of bounds. And that'll be another Parkland turnover. 37 turnovers so far for El Paso Parkland.
As 2 more substitutions for the Lady Matadors come in.
So they're starting to get their bench unloaded here. It looks like Sarah Ortiz, the sophomore, seeing her first action. And also Kat Estepanunan. 3 minutes remaining in the game. Hobbs up by 68. In the front court with the dribble, Zepeda gives off right wing, driving the paint, Cunningham. Backdoor bouncer to Bolton is bounced off her hands and fumbles out to the near sideline, out of bounds. So the Lady Eagles picking up their 14th turnover. 68-point lead for the Lady Eagles. They will play tomorrow night against Oregon Mountain. Same time as tonight, right before the boys' game.
Yeah, not to be confused with Oregon Mountain, who the boys are playing tonight.
Yeah, we'll try to get that all sorted out. Salazar in the left corner, sends it up the left wing still to Estepuman. Back to Salazar, drives baseline off the runner, clinks out the back of the rim. Now I think she touches it after it hit off the iron. It goes out of bounds. So Hobbs will get it back with 2:18 remaining. The clock will run out here pretty quickly. Mercy rule's been in effect since halftime. Probably would have been in effect second quarter if it was like football. Because they let that start to happen in the first half in that sport. Coming across the timeline, Zepeda, crossover left. Gives the ball off to Muñez, top of the circle, drives the lane, one-hand bounce pass, slammed to the floor off the foot of Bolton. That will be a Lady Eagle 15th turnover. Picking the ball up is Salazar. She'll bring it across the timeline, stop and go. It's like she pushed off Zepeda for a second there. Unloads the pass to Ortiz on the right wing, down the right sideline. Unloading to Frere. Ball gets knocked out. It'll be El Paso basketball on the near side.
Yeah, didn't have any room, so the Matador just gone ahead and bounce it off her and get it out of bounds for a better look.
Tiana Richardson returns to the Lady Eagles as she will step in for Cunningham. We'll see her back in the game. Cunningham exits with 10 points, 2 for 2 free throw shooting, and 3 rebounds. Outlet back to the timeline to Salazar with 1:15 remaining, stepping out on Diaz Zepeda. Good pressure on top of the guard here at the timeline. Able to unload the pass near side to Esperduin. Uses up her dribble. Dumps it down to the right wing to Contreras, to the right corner to Salazar. Drives baseline, lost the ball to bounds. And there's another turnover, 38 in the ball game for the Matadors. Clock underneath, 1 minute remaining here in the fourth. Lady Eagles will get another win under their belts. They continue to roll, number 1 team in the Max Preps poll here for the state of New Mexico. Will be 10 wins now. Driving the lane, a 1-2 and up on the left side. Missing is Munoz. Gets her own rebound, though, her first of the game. Kick out right wing to Zepeda. Her three's out the back of the arc. Put back over the front of the arc. No good by Vasquez after her 4th rebound. And underneath the hoop for the Matadors for the rebound is Contreras, her 9th. 25 seconds remaining, 71-3. Hobbs by 68. Stop and go dribble for Salazar. The 2 number 4s going at it against Zepeda. Right in the middle of the Hobbs logo, having problems. The ball deflected, top of the circle, picked up by Mason. Lost the ball, ripped away by Zepeda for another El Paso turnover. Passes it down the lane to Vasquez. Leans and shoots on the reverse right side. No good. Gets her own rebound. Goes back up. Can't get it to drop. Picked up on the left elbow to run out the game is Vasquez. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles with a big W tonight. Mercy roll fashion. 71-3 over El Paso Parkland. Lady Eagles are now 10-1 on the season, and will head to the second round on the winner's side of the bracket tomorrow night, as they will be taking on Oregon Mountain, who beat Highland earlier today, 69-53. We will take a 2-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Lady Eagles postgame show on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Welcome back to the Hobbs Lady Eagles post-game show. First round of the 5th annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament at Tasker Arena. Ty, Fred, Ron Gunner, and Tiffany Stuber with you tonight. Lady Eagles with a big win, 71-3 over El Paso Parkland. Hobbs was up 26-1 in the first quarter, 58-1 at halftime, so 32 points scored in the second quarter. They scored 10 in the third to lead 68-3, and then 3-0 in the fourth to make it 71-3, the final. Looking at the numbers for El Paso Parkland, not much to talk about. No buckets in the ballgame. That might break a record, actually. They did have 2 points from Jasmine Lozano. She was 2 of 6 from the free throw line. Michaela Salazar went 1 of 2 from the line for 1, and that's all the scoring for El Paso Parkland. They were 3 of 10 from the charity stripe for 30%. They did get 21 rebounds, 9 for Contreras, 5 apiece for Valenzuela and Lozano. The big undoing for that Parkland Matador team was 39 turnovers, a lot of those due to tenacious Hobbs Lady Eagle defense. On the other side of the coin, the Lady Eagles get 4 in double digits, 17 for Bryn Hargrove. She was 1 of 3 from the charity stripe and hit 2 trays in the game. Ended up with 1 rebound. Brett Clay finished with 15 points, was 2 of 3 from the charity line and had a tray herself. 11 for Nakia Mojica, who had 3 trays in the game, the biggest numbers for the Lady Eagles from tray range, and 2 rebounds. Kendall Cunningham, 2 for 2 on the line and finished with 10 points and 3 rebounds. So again, 4 in double digits. Matson Zepeda coming off the bench. The freshman had 5 points, including a tray. Jayla David with 6 points on 3 buckets. Kaislyn Munoz, the 8th grader, had a 2 for 2 free throw shooting and a tray for 5. Desiree had a rebound as well. Desiree Vasquez had 2 points and 6 rebounds. So the Hobbs Lady Eagles with 8 scores in this ball game. Elena Bolton added 3 rebounds and Tiana Richardson with 2 boards. Hobbs out rebounding El Paso Parkland 28-21. Again, big time difference in turnovers, just 15 for Hobbs, 39 for El Paso Parkland, a plus 24. Definitely big differential there. And Hobbs doing pretty decent on the free throw line tonight, 7 of 10, Ron.
Yeah, that's always good to see. And no matter what is going on, even if they don't need the points, you always want to see consistency, especially on the free throw line. You know, it should be automatic. It should be one of those muscle memories where they just go up and shoot it. You know, I expect 80%, 90%. You can't always do 90, anything more than 90 sometimes. But I always like to see a team improve on their free throws, and that's what they did. By the way, 3 is the magic number for the Parkland Lady Matadors because they came in with just 3 victories, and they left here with just 3 points.
That's their lowest scoring production of the season for them as well. They dropped to 4 and 17, or make it 3 and 18 on the season. The Hobbs Lady Eagles now 10-1, the number 1 team in the state of New Mexico. That means the Lady Eagles will play Organ Mountain tomorrow at 6:20. We'll have the pregame show around that time. They beat Highland earlier tonight, 69-53. And Organ Mountain, a team the Lady Eagles actually had a chance to beat already this season. So that's a chance for them to see them on the road and still getting the win. You always love to do that when you get a chance to go out there and take care of business like they did in that victory. So, again, that gives them a little bit of advantage and a chance to move on to the championship and they get that win.
Exactly. And, I watched a little bit of the Organ Mountain game against Highland. It was 56-32 at the third quarter. Not much scoring going on in the fourth quarter, but it was a 69-53 final, and Organ Mountain just kind of held on, was able to make sure that Highland did not get back into the game, and we're going to see maybe that they might try to do that tomorrow night against the Hobbs Lady Eagles.
And Hobbs getting a double-digit win over Organ Mountain. That was just about a week or so ago. By the way, again, Hobbs number 1 in the Max Preps poll, Organ Mountain sitting at number 8. Well, that's it from here at Task Arena, at least for the Lady Eagles' first round game at the 5th Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Again, the final 71-3 over El Paso Parkland. Tomorrow night we'll be on around 6:20 with the pregame show here at HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We got the boys game coming up next on those same HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube internet stations. But at the same time, we've got radio coverage on Cool 95.7. We'll be switching to that pregame show momentarily. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you tomorrow night for Hobbs Lady Eagles action in just a few minutes for Hobbs boys at the Holiday Tournament at Tasker Arena.